Hey everyone, welcome to this channel where I'm going to read off a comment that I got today and I want to address that. Before we do that, I can hardly believe it's May. Man, we are in the second quarter of 2024. This year is just flying by quicker than quick, and I'm definitely busy with my business. I know a lot of you are busy with your business as well. But let's go and talk about this comment that came in. I'm going to read this. Hi David, I really value your videos and detailed trainings. I need to pay you for that. Thank you. That's a joke. I am the person who works hard and comes home trying to find the energy and mental strength to transition into my surplus funds business the rest of the day. God bless you. That is really challenging to do. I know how hard it is to work a full-time job and work a side hustle. Totally hard. I get it. And this is on my YouTube comments. I commented on a comment last week very similar to this, but a little bit different. It is hard and keeps me spinning my wheels instead of moving forward to retire from my job. Any tips? So Rebecca, the biggest thing I'm going to say on this is it's really hard when you're bringing in a steady income to go ahead and focus on a side hustle when your steady income is providing for you. Yet you need that steady income and you've got to be able to keep that job, because if you lose your job, that's your steady income. Now I have seen some people lose their jobs and they've been very successful in self-entrepreneurship. I know other people who have to have that 9-to-5 job. And it's like with me having the company that I have, I've often thought, okay, is it worth having this company versus working for myself, just doing surplus funds versus just teaching like I used to teach? Like I've actually weighed the benefits of all those. For me, I like the time freedom and being able to manage. My youngest is graduating from kindergarten next week. I get to go to his graduation. I don't have to ask anyone for time off, any permission, anything like that. And that I definitely like to be able to have the freedom of my own schedule. But you do have a company. I have a company I have to run. I have to be here. I have to be available for my staff. And there's plenty of problems that happen throughout the day. So you have to be ready for that. But let's get on to the energy focus. Any tips? So there's a lot of nights where I've spent up being productive versus being busy, which is one of the biggest mistakes I see. So being productive would be finding your market area and being able to farm that market area into your liking. So let's say you're going to work California state funds. Have you gotten on the California state website? Have you read the manual, maybe looked at it? Have you been watching videos? I know I've got some on California. I'll be doing some more. And I know there's plenty of others in California out there. Do you know how to claim funds? Do you understand the process? Do you know the list? Do you understand the list? Do you know how to skip trace? By the way, if you email me, I will give you 30 days of my skip tracing software for totally free, which I'll be talking about that later on this week or early next week. Going back to this, do you know how to skip trace? Do you know how to locate the client? That would be the first challenge I'd give you. Now, I have a lot of clients that are busy and they email, which is not my preferred way of getting a hold of a client, but they email, they get either a professional email or they go through something like just a Gmail. Just make sure that your Gmail is professional. Like I had one girl, and this was years ago, and she was getting no responses back in the program, and she was doing all the right stuff, and I looked at her email. She was sending out contracts, and her email said something like hotlips19@gmail.com. Well, if you told me I had unclaimed funds, and you emailed me from an email that was hotlips19@com, I'd say, wow, what's this person doing on their time off? And I don't even believe this for real. Even if it's a Gmail account, have a professional name: surplus funds locator, air locator, air finder, state funds locator. Now again, a lot of those are going to be taken, but find a decent Gmail account that you could go with, or get a website, get a domain. There's a ton out there, and pay 10, 15 bucks a month for professional email. And you can email people, which would probably free up a lot of your time, and you will more than likely get responses, because I've seen it. It just won't be as high. Now, a couple things, and these are gold nuggets I'm giving you here. In the emails, I do an attachment, and I do a Word doc attachment of a copy of their funds in that, because Google is not going to spam their own Word documents. If you go into a Google Doc and you put a picture of their funds in the Google Doc and you attach that Google Doc in the email, and then you put the address up, and their address, you put like 123 Main Street, maybe even the name John Smith 123 Main Street, and then maybe like an RE semicolon. Then if that doesn't work, you should try and email more than once. You don't want to try to email everyone just one time and that be it. So maybe you're pulling 50 leads and you want to work those 50 over a 6-week period. So the first week, you email all 50 of those, 10 a day, and then try to stick with it, see how many responses you get back. And again, when you skip trace, there's going to be 10 emails. Not all the emails are accurate. That's one thing that all skip tracing sites, including myself, need to improve on. However, I have gotten responses from emailing people. There was one time a truck driver who had unclaimed funds. Actually, this has happened to us twice, but there was a truck driver who had unclaimed funds, and I emailed him, and he's like, really? Wow, what do I need to do? Recently, I had a truck driver, and I was going to throw this on one of my YouTube videos, that was driving through my city, And he's like, yeah, I'll be driving right through there. He got rerouted by his company. I was like, oh man, because I was going to get the notary. I was going to meet him out there and have this live filming and put it on the spot. I mean, what a killer YouTube video that would have been. Let's go back to the focus here though. Email might be something that'll help you out. And then what I would do is I would try to do a couple cold calls a day. And I used to call people with my personal name, my personal cell phone number when I first started the business. In fact, when I was dating my great wife, fiance at the time, we were just dating. I used to get phone calls when I was with her, and I'd have to pick this up because this was my business. As I've grown, I've now established office hours. I might lose a deal here and there. It does happen, but I do have my office hours and I do have my work schedule. So I keep that separate. So that may help you out. Let's look at the rest of what you write here because you write a lot. So that would be number one. But on your break, I would also try to call one person. Now, a lot of times calling that first person is hard to do. So you call someone and it's really hard to make that first contact with that first person. I get it, been there, done that. I would start off by making one call a day on your first day. Take a deep breath. How do you feel? Did it go into voicemail? Did the person answer? Practice this a million times. Practice it with someone who's business oriented. By the way, I do have a free Facebook group. You need to be interacting with people that do the similar business with you where you can ask questions. I'm gonna put the link to that free Facebook group up in the description of this. So I'll try to put that first so that you'll see that. Feel free, if you haven't already, join that Facebook group. You might already be in there because a number of people on my YouTube channel are on that Facebook group. But go ahead and join the Facebook group and ask questions on there as well. Interact with people that are doing surplus funds because I've got people in there that are killing it, that are doing really well, and this group is totally free and you're allowed to ask any question that you want. Okay, so any tips? Okay, so I just gave you a few. All of the coaches out there, of all the coaches out there, you are my favorite. Oh wow, how much money did I owe you for that? No, honestly, thank you, Rebecca. I really appreciate that. I relate to you because you are genuine and a hard worker. Awesome. Hey, Rebecca, that means a lot. I really appreciate that. Also, do you have a video on how to send documents to clients as the next steps? Do you use Rabbit Sign? How does this work via email? Thank you. So a lot of information in there. California and most other states do require a wet signature in order for you to be able to move forward. However, a lot of people, what they do, and they use something like Rabbit Sign or PandaDocs or DocuSign, they just do a simple service agreement is what it's called, and it just says that the client agrees to allow you to go ahead and work with them and they give you permission to send them the documents. Boom. That makes the client feel obligated. They'll email that to the client first. I don't do this. I've seen the effects of it. I've never taken it and taken the time to put it in my business, but it's very effective, and I probably should because I probably would get a little bit of a higher return rate on this. But what you do is you just send them a little service agreement. You could probably have artificial intelligence put one together for you and send it to your client, email it, have them sign it, and then get it back and then get the paperwork ready. And that way they feel it's not going to be contractual as far as the state is concerned, but it might give your client a sense of obligation. That does help, and I've seen it help a lot of people in sending that out and getting that signed back. And what I would do is I would just send them an email. Hey, John, it was great talking to you earlier today. Here's what I need. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you very much. And I do have videos on this. I will try to do a few more videos on this. I have quite a few videos right now that I'm planning out, and I will try to do actually getting documents out, a service agreement, what that will look like. In fact, I will take note of that and try to get that out. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Feel free to ask me if you have any more questions, and I'll see you around. Thank you again.